everyone! It's April here bringing you another episode of Rescue and Recreate, the series where I take a TLC American Girl doll and basically turn her into a brand new doll. If you watched the previous episode, you will know this week's theme is supporting roles. And the first 11 suggestions I got are Nani from Lilo and Stitch, Sailor Chibi Moon, Coco Bandicoot, Agatha Harkness, Sleepy from Snow White, Max from Stranger Things, Cherie from Black Panther, Effie Trinket from Hunger Games, Black Canary, Luna Lovegood, and Anna from Frozen. And the fan favorite with 3 votes was Anna from Frozen. If your suggestion didn't make it on the wheel this time, please don't feel discouraged. You can ring the bell below to get notified as soon as I post new videos in the future, increasing your chances. Now let's spin this wheel. And it has landed on Effie Trinket. I did want to note that I have actually made a Cherie before, but I didn't do a video about it. Here's what she looked like in case you were curious. Anna has been added to the fan favorite wheel, which actually fills it up. So the next episode will be the first ever fan favorite episode. Now let's get started making an Effie Trinket. I think a classic mold will be ideal for this project, and I ordered one, but then 3 days later it still hadn't shipped and the seller didn't answer my message. So I ended up canceling that order and I found another one, but it still hasn't arrived. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start on her outfit. Effie Trinket has a number of interesting costumes, but I decided to accept the challenge of creating the butterfly dress. I ordered several different butterflies from Amazon. They are kind of pricey ordering this way, however it was the only option I could find that would arrive in time. It appears it is a lot cheaper to buy the wings in bulk, but it takes 1 to 2 months for them to ship. So not really an option. I found the wig that I wanted on Etsy and ordered it. Now to Hobby Lobby for orange fabric for the dress and some black sheer for the gloves. I got the fabric I needed and then I sat down to make a rough pattern with paper towels. I decided to use orange fabric for my base in case there are any gaps in the wings, it won't stand out as much. The butterflies have arrived and I do believe this 3-inch size will work. So don't mind me, I'll just be over here plucking wings off butterflies. The ones that I'm using to cover the dress are feathers painted to look like butterfly wings, and I plan to use these plastic ones around her neck and these tiny 1-inch feather butterflies on her fascinator. I have several wings ready, so now I will need to make the fabric dress to stick them to. There, done. Just kidding, it actually took much longer. I used boning on the sides to get the better shape of her dress, and this side is a different color because reasons that I really don't want to bore you with, but basically I messed up and didn't get enough fabric. The important thing to remember though is it's all going to be covered up with butterfly wings anyways. For placing the butterfly wings, I pretty much just winged it. Anyways, I glued them in place with fabric glue and sewed the plastic ones in place around the neck collar. And then I had to order more butterflies because I ran out of wings. It is now Tuesday before this video will come out, and I'm still out of wings and they're supposed to be here tomorrow, and I still don't have a doll. So to be productive, I'm going to make her gloves and fascinator because there really isn't anything else that I can do right now. For the gloves, I will be using this gold fabric paint to splatter the black fabric, hopefully giving it a speckled eggs appearance. While that dries, I am going to use a cracker box to make the fascinator. I cut a small oval about the size of your standard large egg, and then I added additional cuts around the edge. I'm going to layer these flaps that I made, slightly gluing them in place with hot glue. Now it should resemble a bowl. I hot glue a haircut to the inside of the bowl and paint the outside with black acrylic paint. To make the top of it, I got some black wire from Walmart. I added additional wires to the main one, giving it kind of a creepy tree appearance. And now I'm going to hot glue my 1-inch butterflies to the wires. Then once the paint was not quite dry, I made a hole in the fascinator base to run the wire in through and hot glued it in place. Then I touched up the paint that I may or may not have messed up. And then ta-da! My glove fabric is dry, and I used my own pattern to cut the fabric. I sewed on some elastic before closing up the glove. It is now Wednesday, and I got more butterflies today. So I am going to finish up the back of the dress, and there is now nearly $60 worth of butterflies in this outfit. For her body and face butterflies, since all the ones that I have are a little bit too big, I'm cutting little butterflies out of paper, and then I'm going to hand paint them. I decided to coat them in a glitter sealant, making them more durable. It is Thursday, and guess what? She is finally here, and she is rough. For her head, I'm hoping that this is all just like paint that will come off easily. Her eyes are really bad, but I will be replacing them anyways, so I don't really have to worry about those. I'm going to get her wig off and start cleaning her ASAP. For the body, her fingernails have been painted and there is a stain on the back of her cloth body, and her limbs are a little bit loose. So I'm going to take it apart, wash the cloth body, and clean the limbs. Everything did come off except for this huge mark on her forehead. I'm going to add some acne cream and get her under my UV/heat lamp ASAP. And in the meantime, the cloth body is now clean, so I'm going to restring her. It has been 4 hours, and luckily the stain is gone. So now we can start working on her face up, and step 1 is to replace her eyes. I'm using these blue ones from Dallas Doll Co. that I already had on hand. For her eyebrows, I'm using very light colors because you can't really see her eyebrows in this makeup. After I finish the eyebrows, I will need to seal it using a very thin layer of Mr. Super Clear. That way, when I'm blending her eyeshadow, I don't accidentally erase her eyebrows. To give the eye surrounding that nice yellow glow to begin with, I'm going to use a golden watercolor pencil, and then I'm going to go back over it with a yellow one, and then I'm putting orange right in the corner of her eyes. And I'm just going to keep dabbing it and rubbing it around until it's nicely blended. I will now add lashes using a black watercolor pencil. This one was a little bit more high stress than usual because if I mess up the eyelashes, I'm also going to mess up the eyeshadow underneath. So luckily, I think they turned out pretty good and even, and I didn't have to undo anything. This girl does need some teethers, so I'm going to add those with some white acrylic paint and a very fine tip brush. For her lips, I'm going to mix a very natural pink color using acrylic paint and water. I will apply very thin layers using a fine tip brush. Once I got her eyes masked off, I sealed using Mr. Super Clear. And now that it is dry, I can add the butterflies to her face. I'm using a low temp hot glue because in my experience hot glue is easy to remove, but it still has an adequate hold. Here is the wig that I got from Etsy. It's really soft and it looks fantastic. Once I have it stretched over her head, I will glue it into place. Are you excited for the fan favorite episode? Please be sure to let me know in the comments below. I told my husband that I needed kind of a concrete background for her pictures, and he suggested Menards because they have some very nice textured concrete walls, so that is where I brought her for her pictures. And now it's time for the grand reveal. This outfit features 101 faux butterflies. Here is the before and after, and here she is next to Effie. Are you interested in purchasing Effie or possibly one of my previous creations? If so, the link to my eBay shop will be in the description below. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you liked that video and would like to see more like it, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I hope you have an adorable day.